Just something about Breya that always makes me come back for more. She's so versatile, so pretty, so hot. And crazy powerful. Now I've heard people call her abilities underwhelming, and those people probably listen to Dave Matthews Band. So get rid of that boring music and dive into our 4-color artifact shiznit.
Okay.
Breya, Lithium Scraper. She's a 4-mana 4/4. When she enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 blue top tier artifact creature tokens with flying. Pay 2, sacrifice 2 artifacts. Choose 1. Breya deals 3 damage to target player. Target creature gets -4/-4 until end of turn, or you gain 5 life. Bada bing, bada boom.
That's pretty good.
This is gonna be a token deck. No, not a broken deck, a token deck.
It's settled in.
I played 2 versions of Breya the Killa, and the token theme was by far the most fun I've had with this commander. Tokens are always on the more Robin side of the spectrum, but this deck is more of a Batman deck that can actually win games while actually having fun. Wow! Things are gonna be quite simple. Make tokens, drink coffee, abuse them with Breya, finance a Harley Davidson, win game. If only things were that simple with my ex-girlfriend. Anyways, here's how. So first off, spoiler alert, we're gonna take a look at how to make tokens. Obviously! So many cards to choose from, but I think we got the sauce for your pizza already. Then I'm gonna show you the key cards of the deck and the crazy baloney synergies we can have with them. They fuel the deck with card advantage, removal, and swag. Very important.
Yeah, boy.
And then to finish, finishing off with our finishers, my favorite part. So no more mumbo jumbo, let's dive into it. First off, tokens. Mere Battle Beer. 7 mana, 4/7. When Mere Battlesphere enters the battlefield, create 4 1/1 colorless Mere artifact creature tokens. So pretty simple. 5 artifacts on the board in one go. Yes, sir. I love mirrors, but let's face it, they're only here to be sacrificed. Sharding Binks. 6 mana, 4/4 flying artifact. Whenever an artifact creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you may create a 1/1 blue top tier artifact creature token with flying. Things can get pretty crazy once this guy starts shitting out top tiers. Angel of Intentions. She's a 5 mana 2/1 flying, vigilance, lifelink, fabricate 2. Other creatures you control get +1/+1. This can work as an alternative for Breya if people keep destroying her, and the anthem effect is pretty sweet as well. Bopter Assembly. Kind of a no-brainer. 6 mana 5/5 flying. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control no Topters other than Topter Assembly, return Topter Assembly to its owner's hand and create 5 1/1 colorless Topter artifact creature tokens with flying.
You want answers?
This fuels Breya for days. Urza, Lord High Artist Shitter. 4 mana, 1/4. When he enters the battlefield, create a 0/0 colorless construct artifact creature token with this creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control. He won't poop out a million tokens like our previously mentioned artifact friends, but he will shit out one big poop artifact instead. Oh, a newer card, Gadrak the Crown Scourge. 3 mana, 5/4 flying. Gadrak can't attack unless you control 4 or more artifacts. At the beginning of your end step, create a treasure token for each non-token creature that died this turn. A newer card that fits well in this deck. You can sack 2 artifacts with Breya to give a creature -4/-4 and kill it.
How can you do this?
And at the end of your turn, you put a treasure token into play with Gadrak.
You snotty little bastard.
Recycling is good. So you get the point? Shit out tokens. Now for some flickers, because flickers are amazing and I play flickers in all my decks. Tassa Deep Dwelling, 4 mana, 6/5 indestructible. At the beginning of your end step, exile up to 1 other target creature you control, then return that card to the battlefield under your control. Indestructible Flickerer.
You have that luxury.
Okay, did you hear me? Indestructible. Soul Herder, 3 mana, 1/1. At the beginning of your end step, you may exile another target creature you control, then return that card to the battlefield under your control. Not an artifact, but you still get to ETB Breya each turn. I want it, you want it, we all want it. Conjurer's Closet, 5 mana. At the beginning of your end step, you may exile a target creature you control, then return that card to the battlefield under your control. This card was hiding in the closet since Tassa got printed, but this is an artifact deck, so it's out of the closet for this. Now moving on with some more tokens. Spell Swingle, 5 mana, blue instant, counter target spell. Create X colorless treasure artifact tokens, where X is a spell converted mana cost. I would never play this card besides in this deck.
No.
And if you do, reconsider your poor life's choices. Bopter's Cry Network, 4 mana enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control an artifact, create a 1/1 colorless top tier artifact creature token with flying. Whenever 1 or more artifact creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, draw a card. Pooping out top tiers and drawing cards each turn. Yes sir. Marianetta Besiege, 3 mana enchantment. As Marianetta Besiege enters the battlefield, choose Miran or Phyrexian. Miran, whenever you cast an artifact spell, create a 1/1 colorless mirror artifact creature token. Phyrexian, at the beginning of your end step, draw a card, then discard a card. Then if there are 15 or more artifact cards in your graveyard, target opponent loses the game. Okay, for the flavor, you know, Maraudin forever, brah. So gnarly, dude. Pair all of this up with Anointed Procession. If an effect would create one or more tokens under your control, it creates a double, brah. Double up that many tokens instead. Now you're ready for war. So early game we use Breya's best ability, her -4/-4, to control the board while we slowly tutor for our go-to cards, the all-dress, thin crust, pepperoni and cheese cards. And one of them is Master Transpuker.
Excited.
She's a 4-mana, 1/2, pay 1 blue tap, return an artifact you control to its owner's hand. You may put an artifact card from your hand onto the battlefield. This one's a personal favorite of mine. It's a must-play in any artifact deck.
I have a greater responsibility than you can possibly fathom.
Do you hear me? A must-play. The ability, the flavor, the art. Breya was heavily inspired by this card for her own artwork, so the more you know. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that you can actually return an artifact to your hand with this ability and then put it back into play as well, counting as some sort of flicker ability at instant speed. That's the keyword, instant speed. Now I want to take a minute and see what cards in this deck we can abuse with Master Transmuter, because I like abusing cards. No, only cards, okay? Phyrexian Metamorph, copying a creature at instant speed for 1 blue mana. Seems pretty good. Baleful Strix, draw a card and block your bit creature with my little Death Touch bird. Yes sir. Duplicant, pay 1 blue mana to exile a creature each turn.
Forgive me, master.
Give me a more. Sharoom, blinking Sharoom at instant speed to return an artifact card from your graveyard to play. What is this, a Carador deck? Solemn, pay 1 blue mana to fetch a basic land each turn. What is this, an Azusa deck? Sphinx Summoner, pay 1 blue mana to tutor for an artifact creature card at instant speed. Please. And the best baloney synergy, Spine of Ishsaw. Hey wizards, change the name.
That's my opinion!
7 mana, when Spine of Ishsaw enters the battlefield, destroy target permanent. When Spine of Ishsaw is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, return Spine of Ishsaw to its owner's hand. I love this card. Works wonder with Master Transmuter and Breya. You cheat it into play with the Transmuter for 1 blue mana, then sack it with Breya to return it to your hand. Cheap it out again with the Transmuter, rinse and repeat. This is why I love artifacts. So many shenanigans. Next up, Marianetta Masta.
How can you be on the council and not be a master?
She's a 6 mana 1/3 Fabricate 3. Whenever an artifact you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, target opponent loses life equal to Marianetta Masta's power. You always want her to come into play with the +1/+1 counter, so whenever an artifact is put into your graveyard, an opponent loses 4 life. Just by activating Breya on and off, the Marianetta Mother can dish out a lot of damage. Mix that up with any treasure generating cards like Smothering Tithe or the crazy good Dockside Extortionist, things can get crazy pretty fast. Sacrifice a treasure, deal 4 damage to target opponent.
Disturbing is this move.
Do like the Titanic and let that sink in a minute. Or you can slowly sacrifice Toppers with Breya to deal 3 damage to an opponent, plus another 4 damage with the Marianetta Master once the artifact dies. Yes, you'll be the threat, but if you're not the threat 99% of the time, your deck probably sucks. And now how to end the game with the best card in the deck, Mycosynth Lattice. 6 mana artifact, all permanents are artifact in addition to their other card types. You can't get any crazier than this. This is the LeBron James of artifact cards, a must play in any artifact deck. Did you hear me? Everything is an artifact. As in, everything is an artifact. What dumbass things can we do with this card, you ask?
I'd like an answer to the question, Judge.
Remember Dockside Extortionist? When he enters the battlefield, create X treasure tokens where X is the number of artifacts and enchantments your opponent control. I mean, come on, I don't need to explain why this is broken.
Take a seat.
Create 1 million treasures. It's like Pirates of the Caribbean all over again. Hellkite Tyrant. Whenever Hellkite Tyrant deals combat damage to a player, gain control of all artifacts that player controls. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 20 or more artifacts, you win the game. Okay, everything is an artifact with the lettuce. Plain and simple. Attack, steal all of your opponent's board. That's what Magic is all about for me. Turn everything into an artifact, attack with a big freaking dragon, and steal all the shit on the board. What is funnier than that? You tell me right now. Is that funny? Yeah, that's funny. Stealing all your opponent's permanents with a big freaking red dragon.
Goddamn right I
did!
That is funny. That is magic to me. Darksteel Forge. Yes, 9 mana. Artifacts you control have indestructible. Chamon. Did you hear me? Artifacts you control have indestructible. Mycosynth Lattice. Everything is an artifact. Do you understand? This one is a classic. Make all your permanents indestructible with the Lattice in play. Then you play cards like Vandal Blast and destroy everything but your board. Mamma mia, a hallelujah. The Antiquities of War. 4 mana Enchantment Saga. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal an artifact card from among them and put it into your hand. Then put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. But here's where's the sauce. Artifacts you control become artifact creatures with base power and toughness 5/5 until end of turn. Good by itself, but amazing with the Lattice in play, making each permanent you control become a 5/5 artifact creature. You just need to flicker Breya a couple of times to end up with a 5/5 flying Need George St. Pierre army.
I'm not impressed by your performance.
And Tezzeret, Master of the Bitch. 6 mana, 5 loyalty counters. Creatures and planewalkers spells you cast have affinity for artifact. +2, Tezzeret deals X damage to each opponent where X is the number of artifacts you control. You gain X life. This is where the sauce is at. I love this guy. His +1 is so freaking good. With the Lattice in play, it's even better. -3, return an artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. -8, exile the top 10 cards of your library. Put all artifact cards from among them onto the battlefield. So, yes, pretty good. His +2 is where the sauce is at. Even if Breya dies multiple times, Tezzeret's affinity ability is always going to make you cast her for cheap. So here's a recap on how to finish the game.
I suggest you pick up a weapon.
I've never played a deck with this many win cons. Each game is going to be a surprise for you and your opponents. Thopter Assembly plus Time Sieve. With enough Thopters, you can take infinite turns easy.
I don't give a damn!
Easy Salt right here. Sharum plus Mindslaver. And any flickering card, still infinite freaking turns. Marianetta Masta, and well, with all our treasure cards in this deck, she can win the game out of nowhere. Mycosynth Lattice, Darksteel Forge with Vandal Blast. Blow all of your opponent's permanents. Who needs infinite combos? This is what Magic is all about. Mycosynth Lattice and Hellcat Tyrant. Steal all of your opponent's permanents. Mycosynth Lattice and March of the Machines. Look at this card. Each non-creature artifact is an artifact creature with power and toughness equal to its converted mana cost. So, this one is gonna rock your socks off. Makes every land on the battlefield a creature with power and toughness equal to its mana cost. So, 0? All lands die? Besides yours, because you have Angel of Invention on the battlefield, giving all your creatures +1/+1. This is so evil, I love it. Or you could just use Breya. We can make a lot of mana and a lot of tokens with this deck, so you can just use her 3 damage ability and burn every player to death. Bada bing, bada boom. Thanks for watching.